Hello again, it's John. I forgot to show you guys the exhaust, what I got done so far. I'm going to show you. I was so concentrating on the shifter linkage, showing you guys how to do that, I forgot to show you the exhaust. This is what I got so far. You can see there. See the clearance you got there? Here's the other side. We got a 1/2 inch all over. That's what it looks like so far. Any clearance there? So, I was saying that the exhaust is the toughest part of the build for me anyway, so. This is what's got to go in next. So, I'm going to give you guys, if you don't have the skills or you just don't want to do your exhaust system, I'll give you the guys to go to. Okay? It's called Mandrel Bending Solutions, and I want to say they're in Maryland, I think. You got to look it up. MBS, Mandrel Bending Solutions. I was checking them out, and I was almost thinking of going there. About $2,000, $2,500 to do exhaust system, 304 stainless. But they have Mandrel bending machines right there. They're the only place that I know of in the country that has Mandrel bending machines that they bend your exhaust system right there. They look at it. They probably got guys that do it all day long, so they're probably really good at it. So you take it to this Mandrel Bending Solutions. Gotta look it up online. You have to trail your car there, or however you get your car there. Drive it. Be a little loud if you drive it from no exhaust, and have them bend you up a 304 stainless steel exhaust system. Don't have them bend it up in anything else, because you spend $2,500. You're going to want it made out of 304 so it'll last the lifetime of your car. So that's the only thing I got for you. It's called Mandrel Bending Solutions. They do some nice work. I was checking it out. They're the only ones that I know of. Other than that, you have to do it like I did. And you guys probably know that I'm a pretty well seasoned engine builder, transmission builder, car builder, painter. Do my own convertible tops. I do everything myself. And it took me 3 weeks to put the car together. That's how long it took me. And probably another 2 weeks to do the exhaust system. So, and then another 5 years to get all the bugs out of it. And I'm sure this is what I'm doing. That's why I'm making this video, to show you exactly where I went wrong, what to do, what not to do. But I wouldn't by any means say that this is an easy build. This is a simple build to do. It's not crazy difficult, but I wouldn't say that it's easy. If you're driving it, and I drive 416 miles to New York City and back, so I'm 400 miles there, 400 miles back, 3 or 4 or 5 times a year. I mean, this car gets run. It's not like I put it on the trailer, I take it to the car show, I pull it off the trailer, or I take the trailer to the drag strip, pull the car off the trailer. None of that. None of that. I drive this car daily in the summertime. I take it to the track, drag race it at the track, I drive it home. So, okay, onward. I'll see you guys soon. Hello again. It's me, Poor Man's Garage. Before I put the exhaust system in, because it's going to cover up my training cooler, I want to show you where I put the training cooler. And I know you guys know if you're building a Mazda Miata, there's just not a lot of room for anything. Everything has to be in a specific location. Anyways, it's a Earl's 34 roll extra wide transmission cooler, and I'll show you where it goes. And I got the Martin's kit, comes with I think it's called a tri-pack fans in his kit. I switched fans. When we get to that part, I'll tell you the reason why. But I used his fan that comes in the kit and that mounts on the transmission cooler. So the transmission cooler fan is running all the time. Never stops running. But Earl's 34 row extra wide, I'll show you what it looks like. They don't make a transmission cooler that big with a fan on it. But I did. I put the fan on this training cooler because I don't want to have any overheating problems with my automatic transmissions, no matter what I'm doing. I don't care if I'm going around the track or if I'm standing out on a quarter mile. That training cooler keeps that transmission really nice and cool. I don't have any overheating issues with it at all anymore. So let me show you where I put it. Because it's easier for you guys to see it now before I put the exhaust system on. So now we're going to in the rear part of the car, believe it or not. Rear right hand side of the car. See that fittings? All right. See the fan? See the fittings? I'll try to get you a better view. So it's on this. You see the fan now? You see it? Okay. These are pusher fans. I'm going to explain to you more about pusher fans. So let's go underneath the car and I'll show you how I did it. It's the only spot that I could find to put it. You're not going to put it up. You're just not going to get it in there. Well, this is underneath the car now. Okay. So there's my brackets. There's the fan. So all I did is take a little angle and I TIG welded it to the cooler. It's not really a transmission cooler. It's just an oil cooler. Okay. It's a big oil cooler though. It's 34 row extra wide. I think it's the second from the biggest that Earl's makes. And this is made by Earl's. And I mounted it. I put fittings on it. And the lines go from here all the way up to the transmission. Okay. So that's the best spot that I found to mount the training cooler. It would be on the passenger side underneath your Mazda Miata. You don't run an automatic transmission. There it is. There's my exhaust system, runs out of the rear bumper. That's the best spot that I found to put it. Really the only spot that I found to put it. So, and you can't put it on the right side because the right side is different. No, this is the right side of the car. You put it on the driver's side of the car. Don't put it on the driver's side because there's no room there. But you got to put it on the passenger side of the car. Right? So, I'm going to give you guys all kinds of information. The information is just starting to come in. Wait till we get to the cooling system of the car. I got some stuff to tell you there. Okay. Anyways, finally, let's get that exhaust in there. Hello again, this is John from Poor Man's Garage. Okay, I sound a little winded, but I got the exhaust system in, almost. I just got to put on these little slip connectors at the end. I'm going to show you about the slip connectors and talk about it a little bit. So let me show you my exhaust system on the car. Okay, let's get underneath the car. Okay, let's start from the front actually. Let's see what it looks like from the front. The front of the car. Let's see if you can see that or not. So that's what it looks like from the front. So it's not too bad. It's just it's a hair off when I built it. Hair off. But it's not too bad. I mean, considering how much time I put into it, it's pretty good. Pretty good to me anyways. Maybe not the guys down there at Mandrel Bending Solutions. But for me, it's damn good. Okay, so here's the exhaust system. Here's the rear exhaust system. Okay, that's what it looks like. Okay, so now you see how I got the exhaust system goes all the way out the rear bumper. You'd be like, well, I've never seen that before. Now, I'm sure you haven't. So now you can see what I did is I put stainless steel. I said, see the gap there between the exhaust and the bumper? There's got to be at least 3/4 of an inch to an inch. I saw you look at it and you go, wow, there's a gap there. That's going to put fumes in the car. Right? Nope, because I'm putting sleeves in it. So what's going to happen is you got to make sure that exhaust, when you look in there, it's got to be perfectly centered in that hole. Which that's what it is. It's damn perfect centered in that hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these sleeves here. These sleeves here are made out of copper. And I wish I had made it out of aluminum, and I think the next ones I'm going to make out of aluminum. But that's going to be something I'm going to do in the summertime. So now what the sleeve's going to do is the sleeve. So I'm putting the light in here so you guys can see it. The sleeve is just going to slide in here. Just like that. So I get the light here. That sleeve is going to slide in there. Just like that. And it's going to be, what's going to do is going to take up that gap. Just like that. Okay. The other sleeve is going to slide on the other side. And all it is, it's just a rolled piece of copper, like that, see? A rolled piece of copper. And I made two pieces, two parts of it. Like that. And I pushed this sleeve in there. And then what I'm going to do is I got stainless steel clamp. When I slide it in there, it's going to let the exhaust system be able to move, and that sleeve's going to slide inside that stainless steel sleeve that I made, inside the stainless steel tubes that I made for the exhaust. So it won't leak. The exhaust is going to come all the way out the back of the car, and those copper sleeves are going to be clamped to the stainless steel exhaust system. So the exhaust system is going to be able to move inside there. Like I said, back here, believe it or not, I know I measured it, it moves exactly a half an inch. So that exhaust system grows a half an inch. Believe it or not. So you gotta have that exhaust system's got to be able to move. Else it'll be binding up. Well, anyways, I'll show you when I'm done. And like I said, when it's done, it looks cool. It looks good. So that's how I built the exhaust system for my Mazda Miata. I just gotta find my hose clamps. Stainless steel hose clamps. I know they're here. They're all stainless steel. And that's what you want. That's all it is, just a stainless steel hose clamp. It goes on there like this. This one goes this way. This one goes this way. So you're able to get the screws. And that exhaust system is going to move in there. But it won't, it doesn't rattle or anything, but you got to make sure that exhaust has to be in the center of those holes so that it's not pushing this way or cocked this way, because then it will hit and it'll rattle and drive you crazy, but I don't hear no rattle. So anyways, I'll show you when it's done. Alright, see you soon. Well, hello again. Okay, I got the sleeves put in on the rear of the exhaust. Let me show you what they look like when they're done. Okay, so that's what the exhaust looks like at this angle. I'll have to get a better video of the rear of the car. So anyways, so now if you look, the sleeves are all in. Okay, so there's no exhaust escaping underneath the car. Everything comes completely out the back of the car. All right, so when you got the top down, you're cruising around, you're not smelling the exhaust coming back at you. All right, it's a nice thing putting it out of the right of the rear of the bumper, because you don't get no exhaust stink. So that's all it is. So just copper sleeves, and this is free. I said this exhaust system will slide from the front of the car to the back of the car as the car heats up. Believe it or not, moves a half an inch. So this right here, between this here and here, it'll actually close up a half an inch, which is pretty close right there actually. I think I'm going to move that clamp a little bit. I'm going to move that clamp a little bit. So that's a little too close. Yep. But other than that, I mean, it's done other than me sliding that clamp back a little bit towards the front of the car. It's done. The exhaust system's done. There we go. So I'm just going to move that clamp a little bit. It really, I can't believe how much it moves until I started measuring it. And I was like, holy crud. This thing, it's hard to believe that stainless steel moves that much. Half inch. A little tiny bit over a half inch. But I measured it, it does. So, okay, see you soon. Hello, this is John again from Poor Man's Garage. Okay, now we're getting down to putting in the AC condenser and the radiator and the cooling system in the Mazda Miata. So now, for any of you guys that ever had a heating problem with your Mazda Miata, pay close attention to what I'm going to tell you. I might as well tell you what the deal is with the Mazda Miata. The deal is with the Mazda Miata is the only fan you can put on it is what they call a push type fan. And push type fans, to begin with, don't work that well. They just don't. That's the way they're designed. It works better if you can pull the air through the radiator to try to push it through. That's just the way it goes. So, now, if you guys probably don't have air conditioning in your Mazda Miata, now that the Martin Monster Miatas kit, it comes with I think they're called tri-pack fans. Hold on for a second. I'm pretty sure that's the name. Anyways, this is the fan that the kit comes with. I do believe it's made by tri-pack. Yeah, it says right on it, tri-pack. And I'm going to give you guys I'll give you guys the part number, I guess. Hopefully Martin doesn't get mad at me. Because you gotta buy the kit from Martin. Don't be trying to do it without him. Because he's got his book and you gotta buy his kit anyways. So, if you guys are running, don't have air conditioning on your V8 Miata, you probably most likely don't have any kind of a problem. But if you're running, you know, his kit is generally made for 400 horsepower. So I'm going to say around 400 horsepower. I'm sure his kit is fine. If it isn't, I'm going to tell you how to resolve it. So anyways, if you're running air conditioning in your V8 Mazda Miata, the major problem with having air conditioning in your Mazda Miata is you guys are probably using the stock AC condenser, meaning the AC condenser that was in the Mazda Miata. That's what you're using for your air conditioning. That makes sense. That's what I did. But the problem is with the stock Mazda Miata AC condenser, the cooling fins are so close together that I don't care what kind of fan you have, it's never going to let enough air through that AC condenser to go through the AC condenser and through your radiator to cool your motor. There's no way. It's just the way the Mazda Miata AC condenser is designed. Okay? So the only way that you can solve this problem is, one, you either have to get an AC condenser that the fins are real wide to let the air flow through, or two, do what I did and cut them. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like and what I did and how to do it. And basically, I had a cutoff wheel on a 4-inch grinder. Let me get the cutoff wheel over here. So is this cutoff wheel, which is it's a 6-inch cutoff wheel. If you can get a bigger one, get a bigger one on a grinder. I know it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy what I'm telling you, don't it? Okay. So now, if you make a mistake, guess what? You got to buy another condenser to give it a try. So what you have to do, and I'm going to show you. What you have to do is what you're going to have to do. What you're going to have to do is, and you can see here's an AC condenser that I had already cut the fins. See, that's what it looks like after I got it cut. Now the airflow is going to flow right through those fins. The only problem is I made a little mistake here, and I couldn't fix it. So guess what? I had to go buy another one and start all over again. Okay, and so that's how I mount them. And all I do is this is the one I'm actually using. This is the old one. So what I do is I take this aluminum strips, long aluminum strips, right? And you can see that I screwed 3 of them, one in the middle, one in the end, and then all I did is bolt it to the AC condenser there, and bolted it here on the bottom, and basically bolted my fans. Fans are bolted to the AC condenser. The AC condenser is bolted to the strips, and the strips are bolted to the radiator. It's real simple how to mount this. How to mount the AC condenser to the radiator. No problem. Now you probably noticed that these aren't the fans that came in the kit. Okay, and I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a second. This is the fan that came in Martin's kit. And this is the fan that I'm using for my transmission cooler. Like I said, I got this hooked up to a 34 roll. You've seen it in the car, 34 roll Earl's oil cooler that I use it for my transmission cooler. Okay, so you, you got to slit it with a cutoff wheel. All right, you got to leave at least 2 inches in here, the 2-inch strip down here. So mark it off. Then you got to take a cutoff wheel and you got to grind in between the AC condenser tubes. Make sure that you don't touch this end, or the tubes, or else you're going to have to start it all over again. You're going to have to go out and get another new one or another used one. I bought a new one because after the first time I screwed it up, the second time I got it right. Okay, so this is one of the things that I did to solve the cooling issue, because I'm running AC in my car. And believe it or not, when I got done cutting these tubes, and this is the one I'm using. Now you can look at it, and you can see that those tubes are slit, except for there's a 2-inch gap that I left there all the way up, because there's nothing left to hold it if you cut it all the way across. Now you see these tubes are all slit. The whole AC condenser, I slit it with this cutoff wheel real carefully. Make sure you're straight. Got to be super straight. Take your time. Put it on blocks. Clamp it down. Get in position. Get yourself psyched up. Drink some coffee. Make sure you're very steady hand, because if you one slip up and if you hit any of those tubes, you got a leak. And apparently I'm not good at welding them out and sealing them, because I could never get it sealed. So I had to try it again. Okay, so now the deal with the fans is I think Tri-Pack, I'm not sure what the CFM is. I know that at that time I looked it up in the book, and I don't remember what it was. It's like, my guess is like 500-600. Okay, and I'm not sure what Tri-Pack is probably made in the United States. Okay, now these spalls here, this is spalls, the best, strongest, that flows the most CFM out of a 10-inch spall fan pusher. I think they're called HPs. I don't know. I think they flow something like, I don't know, like 1,300 or 1,800 a piece or something like that. When you turn these things on, it's like you got a turbocharger in your car. These things really push. These things really push air. And believe it or not, they're made in Italy. Okay. So let's see if I can get the part number on these things, but I don't even know. So yeah. There's the part numbers. You guys read it, I don't know. But the deal with these spall fans is, when I had the Tri-Pack on here, I had painless wiring 40 amp breakers on. Okay. And I hooked the spall fan. I had two 40 amp painless wiring relay switches, 40 amp by painless. And I hooked the spall fans up to it. The one fan stayed on and the other one would kick on and kick off, kick on and kick off. Okay. So I called up Spall and I told them there's something wrong with your one fan. It's kicking on and kicking off and kicking on and kicking off. And what he told me is he said that he's been working there for 30 years. And that if there is something wrong with the Spall fan, that's the first one he's ever seen in 30 years. So what he told me was that, then he asked me what relay switches I had. I said, well, I got two 40 amp relay switches for painless. He said, that relay's not big enough to run our fans. He says you Painless's 70 amp relay switch, and he says you need 2 of them. Now, and he gave me the part number. Now I went, and they were $120 a piece for the Painless 70 amp relay switches, and that's what I did. So I bought 2 of them, $240, and I paid for 2 relay switches. This is what they get for them. You know, that 70 amp, $240, and I put them in. And the guy says, I'll send you a fan, just in case the fan's bad. I'll send you a fan, but do me a favor, put the 70 amp relays in there, you know, and if the fans are good, don't open that box, just send it back to me. So he did. So Spall sent me an extra fan, you know, and I put it in the garage, and I took the 40 amp Painless relays out, and I put the 70 amp relays in, and sure enough, the fans work great. So I sent the box back to him, told him there's nothing wrong with this fan. So anyways, so I thought that was an awful lot of money, and this is after the fact, after I spent $240 for the relay switches. I went on eBay, and I looked up 80 amp relay switches, and I found a website that will send you 5 80 amp relay switches for $12. 5 80 amp relay switches for $12. I'll show you what they look like. I'll be back in a second. I think my father's coming in.